Okay, and just to complete the Premier League wrap-up for this round 23, the top scorers in the competition, Nick Salsis from Port Melbourne on 14 goals, Vasco Tripcheski, now off in Portugal, of course, from Altona Magic on 13, George Figos, Craig Lewis, Tommy Pontiac and Yanni Suric from Werribee, all with double figures. That's 10, Paul. Well, it's 10 or more. But these, in this case, they're all on 10. Hurry it up, I will. Round 24, the Victorian Premier League next weekend, Voice of Authority. Let's go through the matches one by one, shall we? Port Melbourne Sharks hosting the Werribee City Bees.
Safe home victory there, you would think.
Preston host the Doncaster Rovers.
You're asking me to pick these scores? Or I'll go for
comment.
I'll go for Preston. I'll go for Preston.
Okay, Sunshine Georgies host Box Hill.
I'll go for Box Hill to get a draw there.
North Geelong playing Albion.
Good game there, both next to each other on the league ladder. I'll pick another draw there.
Bulleen play Fawkner. I can tell you right now, Fawkner have not beaten Bulleen in the last 14 games between the two clubs. Here's another stat for you. They haven't beaten them since September. Paul Williams. It's the bloke you're listening to right now. Since September 14th, 1989, Fawkner at Bulleen at the weekend.
Incredible.
Aren't I?
Last one.
And Springvale City Reds take on Altona Magic. And, of course, our match of the day, Paul, you and I'll be working in tandem again, toe-to-toe. St Albans against Green Gully. That should be a big game out there at the Churchill Reserve. I was going to say the fly-blown Churchill Reserve. I actually meant the wind-blown.
That's what we know.
There's a real difference there.
All right, State League Division 1. Let's move right along. And the two teams at the top have been separated finally. Thomastown Devils going down 2-1 to bottom side Knox City. So a bit of an upset there. Bentley Greens kept on their winning ways with a 2-0 away victory to Caulfield. That leaves Bentley 3 points ahead at the top of the ladder. Down the bottom, Oakley, Frankston Pines, Broadmeadows and Knox City look to be the four teams in the firing line at the moment. Top of the goal scorers, Chris Andriotis, still 3 points ahead, or 3 goals ahead rather, of Peter Petrakis from Clarinda. Looking at State League Division 2 and plenty of postponed games around this weekend. Some muddy grounds around Victoria. The big one, of course, was Moorabbin City against Springvale White Eagles, and that was abandoned in the 75th minute by the referee because of the ground conditions. Another interesting result in that division. Altona East 1, Essendon Brunswick Royals 2. They're staying in touch at the top of the ladder. We've got Springvale on 43, Essendon on 41, Moorabbin and Waverley on 40. In the firing line in Division 2, Chelsea, Altona City, Ringwood City and Clifton Hill at the top of the goal scorers. Alex Livingston and Michael Michaelakopoulos neck and neck on 14 goals. Ian Sturton, David Hanna, some names from the past there, equal also on 13. Looking at State League Division 3, we've got South Dandenong and Frankston 1-1. Westvale continuing their good form, a 3-0 away win against Seaford United. And Melbourne City a good away win as well to Bunyul. Westvale at the top, 49 points. South Dandenong and Melbourne City a mile away from them. Down the bottom, Banyule, Seaford, Sunbury and Sandringham on 2 points. Just quickly looking at State League Division 4, again 3 games there, either abandoned or postponed. The big result of the day, South Wantirna 2, Geelong 3. Geelong keeping their 1 point lead at the top of the ladder. Cranbourne a point behind. And looking at relegation, if you can get relegated from State League Division 4, North Coburg United on 22, South Wantirna 18, Doveton and Brighton were disbanded as we mentioned last week. Top of the goal scorers in Division 4, Michael Macaulay, 23 goals, 2 ahead of Zlate Bogoevski. Hope I got that right, Zlate. Blakey.
Pass the baton, Paul, pass the baton. Provisional League Division 1. And there's the results on screen, as you can see. And the significant mover and shaker there is Moreland City, of course, top of the ladder with 52 points. They are straight in the field. Layla and Old Scotch Hawthorn bringing up second and third on the ladder. Heidelberg City and Dandenong are the two teams at the foot of Provisional League Division 1. Paul, don't remind me not to let you run in the relay race with me, son. Division 2, round 20. Of course, in the Provisional League, and there are the results for postponements at the weekend. Top of the ladder, Mornington. Bottom of the ladder, Monash University. Stiff cheese for the students. Provisional League Division 3, Metro. 2 postponements there. You see the ladder on your screen. Endeavour United on top of the ladder. Carrum United at the bottom of the ladder. And in Provisional League Northwest, 3 Northwest, there again as the results, Whittlesea United, the big winner of the weekend, they're top of the ladder. at the bottom, Preston and Mill Park. And finally, Provisional League, Division 3, South East Central, and another two postponements there, so some sort of gravitational shift affecting the grounds at the weekend. Wanturna on top of 33, RMIT at the bottom of Provisional League, South East Central, 7 points only. As we head off into a new segment. Very exciting, Paul. I'm very excited.
Tell us about it.
I will. Of course, our new weekly guest is very, very well known throughout soccer circles. He's known as Shocker Myles, John Myles from 3UZ. And he's with us tonight for his new segment, which is called
Soccer's Weekly Shocker.
I can't wait.
Thank you, boys. Good evening and welcome to your weekly Rumour Roundup, where each week I will be taking you behind the scenes for all the hot gossip in soccer. Starting off with Alistair Wright. Now, he's a striker with Waverley City in State Division 2. He looks like he'll be lining up, playing in another red and white strip next year, that of the Sunshine Georgies in the Premier League. Alistair Wright, good up-and-coming striker. Talking of the Sunshine Georgies, they will amalgamate with Broadmeadow City next year, so look out for that. Green Gully Cavaliers, they've set a 2-year plan in motion to get into the National Soccer League. But with this plan, there will be massive changes. The changes are a new president, and Chris Taylor looks like he'll lose his job and he'll be replaced by Melbourne Zebras coach Ken Murphy, who I do believe has been approached by the Cavaliers. Also high on the Green Gully signings list in this 2-year push for the National League are Preston's Jerry McAleer, Werribee Stephen Douglas and Albion Red Sox Sonny Seven. Cranbourne Soccer Club in the State Division 4. Now, they've got a young striker called Mike McCauley, but they'll have problems to hold on to this guy because 3 clubs are already lining up to sign him. Morwell Falcons, Springville City and Springville White Eagles are all trying to snare this young striker from Division 4. And to answer a viewer's question, Colin from Narry Warren, yes, Gus McLeod will hold on to the Springville City job next year, but he will have a very high-profile assistant coach, and that looks like Gus might move on to be a director of coaching of Springville City. Now, Chris Bell, the flyweight midfielder, and he's only 16 years old from Croydon City, and they're in State Division 1. He will make it as a National Soccer League player. You've got to see this kid to believe it. Wafer thin and bags of guts. And he also should be in the Emily Merrick's State VIS squad because he's such a good player. Talking of Croydon, their on-loan striker from the VIS, Danny Alsop, will be signed by Frank Arrock for South Melbourne as part of a 2-year plan to push this guy into being one of the biggest and best strikers in Australia. David O'Connor, he was relieved of the Doncaster City or Doncaster Rovers job last week. Now, did he jump or was he pushed? And why? 3 games to go? Can that make any changes? Come on, Doncaster, get real. And on the national scene, soon-to-be defunct Melbourne Zebras players Robert Trajczewski and Robert Innes. They're on Branko Kalina's Sydney United shopping list, and Branko has plenty of money after the $1 million he got from Zelko Kalac. Preston's latest coach, Norrie Peck, will, I'm told, hold on to the job for the 1996 season, and so he should. He's put some stability back into the Preston Lions team, and I'm glad he has. Albion Red Sox, they'll reappoint John Dowie, and who would have thought that at the start of the season after Albion having 6 coaches last season. And just a late one here, Robert Krajicek, Jeff Oliver and Scott Patterson have all played the last season for Berlin. And Fausto Diamicis, he's the latest one to get cleared out, and the clearance here from Melbourne Knights. He'll sign this week for Marconi. And it's back to the boys.
Thanks a lot, Shocker. That's John Myles from 3UZ. Got the best radio soccer show on in Melbourne. 5:30 on Monday nights on 3UZ with Shocker. And as I said at the beginning of the show, if you're over 35 and you haven't kicked the ball for a while, you're going to get your boots on soon, because our special guest this evening is Bob Degg. And Bob, you're the liaison officer for the Australian Masters Games.
Good evening, Paul. That's great.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And the Masters Games are being held in Victoria, in fact in Melbourne, in October. Tell us a little bit about what's happening there.
Well, the Australian Masters Games occur every 2 years, and it's Melbourne's turn. There have been 4 previous Masters Games in Australia. And we're having 53 sports in and around Melbourne town, and soccer is one of those sports, being held between Saturday the 7th of October and Friday the 13th, on which good day we'll be having the finals at Olympic Park.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. So some of these old codgers at home, 35 years and over, can get to put their boots on again and play at Olympic Park, perhaps?
Paul, I'll have to let you know that over 35 is not necessarily old codger, as you can see.
Sorry, I know you fit into that category.
Sorry, Greg. I thought I'd better stick up for me. Paul, we have 3 competitions altogether. There's 35 to 44-year age group for fellows, 45 and over, up to 110, I think I've heard the ad, and the women's competition is 30 and over. And those 3 competitions will be held. And yes, all of the finals will be played at Olympic Park, so if you get to the finals, that's where you'll be playing.
That's good. And there's other games going on around Melbourne at the same time in a variety of different venues, I gather.
Oh, that's true. The venue for the preliminaries for the soccer is at Richmond East Richmond Club, and Stonington is our second venue. Hopefully we'll flood the places with competitors, and by that time the grounds will be nice and firm for everybody.
Bob, you're mentioning 110 years of age. Is there any provision for life support systems throughout the games?
Well, there are. We're hoping...
I was just a bit of a worry about the 100-metre sprinters and what have you that are sort of up around that age group, Bob.
Well, Greg, there are quite a lot of athletes. We like to think of masters as being mature age athletes, and yes, there are plenty in that age group. Like Charlie Booth is a 92-year-old sprinter, and there are plenty of his ilk still around and very serious about their sport. But plenty of doctors, plenty of medical support, plenty of backup.
Well, Bob, thanks very much. Bob Degg, Liaison Officer for the Australian Masters Games. And just before we leave, Bob, we'll show you a quick 30-second promo of the Masters Games so you get a picture of what it's all about. And there's a date mentioned in the promo. It's the entry date has been extended to the 15th of August, so there's no excuse for you not participating.
You may not realise it, but you've probably been practising for the Australian Masters Games for years. So put all that practice to good use. Compete in the Vic Health Australian Masters Games in Melbourne, October 1995. If you're over 30 and under 110, you qualify. For a brochure and entry details, ring this number.
So that's the Masters Games, Paul, and don't worry, I reckon that some of those dinosaurs would stitch you up, son, so don't be so disrespectful in the future. Don't forget, if you want to write to the program, write to us care of the address on your screen right now, and any vitriol directed towards Paul Williams, gratefully accepted. Don't forget next week, well, the next few weeks, young Williams, we've got plenty of hot action coming up as we head towards the finals. We've got to thank Peter Ollerton and Bob Degg for joining us tonight. To you, Paul, for no particular reason other than I love you like a brother.
Thanks, Blakey.
It's Paul Williams and Blakey signing off from The Soccer Show. We'll see you next week.